CCISD counselors are preparing for the new school year, and one way they're doing that is by taking part in a Youth Mental Wellness Symposium. Marissa Cummings spoke with faculty to learn more about the importance of this particular training.
Educators want to be equipped with all the tools to help students be successful and safe. That includes this room of school counselors from CCISD. They're learning how to properly stock their mental health first aid kit.
What kinds of self-help strategies can we provide to students, reassurances to the students, as well as how to de-escalate when a crisis occurs.
Laura Montoya has been an elementary school counselor for 10 years. She says addressing mental health is nothing new, but from her experience and research, there has been an uptick.
Anxiety, depression, and even concerns with suicide are on the rise.
In order to help students with their mental health, educators say it takes a village, so they'll be sharing everything that they've learned.
Take it back to our campuses and help our teachers on campus, our administration, and our parents.
Emphasis on the parents, according to Laura Lopez with Coastal Plains Community Center. She says how a student deals with their mental health can sometimes come down to mom and dad.
They many times feel hindered by the parents' lack of cooperation or lack of understanding of mental illness. And that proves to be one of the biggest challenges when you're working with youth.
Counselors will be continuing their training throughout this week. Marissa Cummings, 3 News.